All right, we're going to go to Kyle Shanahan now. Sounds like he's ready.
All right, guys. Injuries from the game. Fred Warner had an ankle, did not return. Kittle ribs, did return. Jordan Elliott had a knee, did not return. Cowing shoulder, did return. Conley oblique, finished the game, and Juice went out there at the end with a shoulder. Go ahead.
Warner and Jordan Elliott, do you have any idea of the severity yet?
I don't. I know Fred tried to go, came out in third quarter and tried to go, but didn't feel like he could.
Prognosis on Elliott?
No. I mean, I don't think it was an ACL or anything, but it was just had some swelling and stuff, so he couldn't go.
Feel that defensive start helped you guys today, especially Fred's pick six.
Oh, that was awesome. I mean, I thought the defense was awesome all day. Anytime you score, even better. But to start out the way they did, the first couple drives especially, scoring, Fred getting the score, the 2 turnovers they created. I didn't get a look at all the stats, but I think they were really good on third down. Defense felt like dominated all day.
It's been so good for so many years, but do you feel he's playing at a different level now?
I do a little bit. It's kind of hard to say that. I mean, he's been so good every year. So, but the way he started out this year, it's been a big time year for him so far.
Kyle, you went up top in this game. It seemed like 3 or 4 times. Was that part of the original plan, or was it something that they were doing defensively that kind of led to that? I mean, you always have that stuff in. Just they play. We caught them in quarters a couple times on both those plays, and their safeties were down tight, and that's where the ball's got to go. And Brock made 2 good throws, and both the guys came down with the play. Had a third chance that was incomplete. Corner did a good job staying on top, but I think it was versus all the same coverages.
There were some good deep balls last season and the season before, but do you think he's better at that even now?
I think it's the same. I thought we had some better looks today on a couple of them, but no, Brock's doing a real good job with that.
First drive, he had 2 third down scrambles for first downs, and then he eluded, a sack and then threw to Kittle for 15 yards. Is he better at decision making when it comes to when to take off, when to stay in and throw? From his rookie year, obviously.
I think he started doing it more last year. He's done it a lot this year. It's something he did in college a lot. I think Brock has just got the confidence on when to hang in there and try to make the play work and when to break and buy time and try to make a play, getting people open later off schedule or trying to move it with his legs. And he's done a hell of a job of that these last 2 weeks. If he didn't do that in the playoffs last year, I don't think we would have got to the Super Bowl. So I think he did it then too. And love having that asset of our offense. He's done a hell of a job with that.
The Correndo fumble, is that just a rookie play, or how do you chalk that one up?
I chalk it up to an NFL football player getting hit and fumbling it. I don't put it on being a rookie. You can fumble it whoever you are. It was a big fumble, especially opening up in the third quarter. I think that's what gave them a chance. They answered right away. Biggest thing when someone has a turnover, you want the defense to go out and hold them to 3. I think they scored on a 4th down maybe. We had a commitment trying to stop an inside zone run, and they had a good play call getting out there to score. But we'll come back to them. But, yeah, that was a big fumble.
The video of B.A. Friday throwing his shoes and stuff didn't look awesome. Are you surprised that he cared that much about his shorts?
No, I'm not. I didn't know you guys had it on video. That stuff happens.
Does it usually happen that a player would throw a shoe because he had to change shorts?
I didn't see what he threw. Maybe he was just joking, laughing about throwing a shoe. Maybe he didn't like his shoe. I didn't interview him about his shoe toss. But I hate some of the clothes I got to wear out there also. But it is what it is.
Interception, Brock kind of just threw it up there for maybe Brandon to make a play. Is that something that's in the system, or is that you would prefer that throw not be made?
No, I don't want him to throw into double coverage. But there was a busted route on the backside. It looked like BA was going to be alone. It was man coverage, and someone ended up in the wrong spot. So there was a guy Brock wasn't expecting to be over there because we should have distributed the field a little bit differently. But I didn't like how late it was. I didn't throw really in the rhythm of the play, and had a chance early, but it didn't have a chance late, and that was a big turnover. It was one of the reasons they had a chance to get back in it, but our defense held up strong.
say about this a lot, but is Juwan playing with just a different level of confidence this year?
I don't think so. I think Juwan was born this confident. He's always like that. You guys know how I think how Juwan is. He's as confident as it gets, and I think that's one of his best assets. He's a very talented player, but Juwan never feels he can be denied, and so he's been so important to us over the years.
Plays based on obviously what your quarterback can do and do well. At this point, is there any plays that you can't call from Brock?
No, I don't think there's. No, I think Brock, since he's his first game playing here, there hasn't been a type of play. I mean, he's very good in the drop back game, play action game. He's good on the bootlegs and stuff. We don't call too many like zone read and things with him. I think he'd be capable of it, but we're not trying to make a living off that. But Brock has been one of the most consistent players in the league since the first game he's played.